Yelena Belova. In 1995, Yelena Belova, fake sister of Natasha Romanoff and fake daughter of Red Guardian Alexei Shostakov and Melina Vostokov, was suddenly removed from her fake spy family to be sent to the Red Room. She was born in Russia in 1989, but was taken from her real family when she was very young. Yelena first appeared in the MCU in the 2021 film Black Widow as Natasha Romanoff's younger sister from their fabricated family in Ohio. Before their reunion, Yelena is working as an active Black Widow assassin under the Red Room's control. During a mission in Budapest, she is sent to eliminate a target who turns out to be a former Black Widow named Oksana from an older generation of the program. In a desperate act of defiance, Oksana exposes Yelena to a red chemical agent called red dust, a synthetic antidote that shatters the Red Room's chemical mind control. This moment of liberation, given to her by someone she was meant to kill, changes everything. Now free for the first time in decades, Yelena is faced with an impossible burden. She holds in her hands the key to liberating countless Black Widows still enslaved under Dreykov's control. But she cannot accomplish this mission alone. She sends the remaining antidote vials to Natasha, her sister who escaped years ago and is now an Avenger. If anyone has the strength, allies, and means to destroy the Red Room forever, it's Natasha. This desperate act of trust brings the sisters back together after years apart, united by a shared mission to end the nightmare that shaped their lives. Together, they embark on a mission to destroy the Red Room once and for all, and free the other widows still trapped under Dreykov's control. The film reveals Yelena as more than just another assassin. Her sharp wit cuts through tense moments with dark humor. In the comics, Yelena's story is vastly different from the MCU, as she wasn't part of a fake family with Natasha, Alexei, and Melina. Instead, she was a younger Red Room graduate who idolized and resented Natasha in equal measure, viewing her as both inspiration and competition. Her liberation from the Red Room came not from a selfless act by another widow. Being a spy meant being a disposable pawn with no glory or honor. She returned as a main character in Thunderbolts, working as one of Valentina de Fontaine's Black Ops specialists. Valentina, a cunning CIA director with shadowy motives, had recruited Yelena after Natasha's death and manipulated her grief for her own purposes. When Valentina faces impeachment for her illegal operations, she sends Yelena on what appears to be a routine mission to a secret facility, but Yelena is joined by other operatives, Ghost, Taskmaster, and John Walker, and they quickly realize the horrifying truth: Valentina has sent them to kill each other. They are not retrieving anything. They are the evidence she wants eliminated. During the chaotic fight, Ghost kills Taskmaster, but the surviving operatives discover something unexpected. Bob Reynolds, a troubled man who volunteered for an experimental drug trial and became the sole survivor of Project Sentry. The facility was meant to be their tomb, but finding Bob changes everything. The team realizes they have been betrayed and must work together to survive. Within this broken team, forced together by betrayal, Yelena becomes what Steve Rogers was for the Avengers, the emotional anchor and moral compass that holds them together. Finally, she reunites with her fake father, Alexei Shostakov, who turns out to be the Red Guardian, Russia's answer to Captain America, and a relic of a secret Cold War super soldier project. Red Guardian Alexei Shostakov. The Red Guardian was Russia's version of Captain America. Alexei was born in Russia during the Cold War, a time when Russia and America did not like each other. The Russian government picked him for a secret program where they gave him a super soldier serum, just like the one Captain America got. The serum made him super strong, super tough, and super fast. After getting the serum, Alexei became the Red Guardian and went on secret missions for Russia. In the 1990s, Alexei was sent to America on an undercover mission. He pretended to be a regular dad, along with another spy named Melina. They were given two little girls, Natasha and Yelena, to make their fake family look real. For 3 years, they lived in Ohio like a normal family. Alexei pretended to work as an engineer, but was really stealing secrets from a group called S.H.I.E.L.D. Even though it was all fake, Alexei started to really love Natasha and Yelena like they were his real daughters. In 1995, their mission got discovered and they had to escape back to Russia. Alexei thought he would be treated like a hero for doing such a good job. Instead, a man named General Dreykov betrayed him. Dreykov was scared of Alexei and had him arrested and sent to prison in Siberia. Alexei stayed locked up for over 20 years. While in prison, he became obsessed with his glory days. He told everyone stories about being the Red Guardian, including lies about fighting Captain America. He made up these stories because he was so desperate to feel important again. In 2016, Yelena and Natasha broke Alexei out of prison. They needed his help to destroy the Red Room and kill General Dreykov. At first, Alexei only cared about himself and his old glory. But eventually, he helped his daughters for real. The Super Soldier Serum gave Alexei superhuman strength, durability, and speed. He can lift nearly 1,000 pounds, punch through concrete, and survive impacts that would kill ordinary men. But unlike Captain America, whose serum enhanced both body and character, Red Guardian had to face the crude reality that despite his strength, the healing factor induced by the serum didn't give him the perfect shape that Steve Rogers maintained. In the comics, Alexei's story is vastly different from the MCU, as he wasn't Natasha and Yelena's adoptive father, but rather Natasha's husband. The KGB arranged their marriage when both were operatives, then faked Alexei's death in a rocket explosion to manipulate Natasha deeper into the Red Room's service. Unlike the MCU's Super Soldier, the original comic version had no serum enhancement. He was simply trained to peak human performance through rigorous KGB conditioning. His story ended tragically when, during a mission in China, he fought Captain America to prove Soviet superiority, but ultimately sacrificed himself by taking a bullet meant for Natasha, realizing he still loved her, despite everything the KGB had done to keep them apart. John Walker. John Walker is the Thunderbolts' most conflicted member. In 2023, after the events of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers passed Captain America's shield to Sam Wilson. But Sam was not ready to take on the role, so he gave the shield to the government. The US government wanted their own Captain America right away. John Walker was a decorated war hero who desperately wanted to serve. They gave him the shield and made him the new Captain America. But John had no superpowers. He was just an exceptionally trained soldier, and he quickly discovered that the shield was not enough. His main mission was to stop a group called the Flag Smashers, who had taken the Super Soldier Serum. Every fight with them revealed a painful truth. Without enhanced abilities, John could not compete with super soldiers. During a mission in Latvia alongside Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson, the team tracked down the Flag Smashers to stop them from getting more super soldier serum. In the chaos, Helmut Zemo destroyed nearly all the remaining vials to prevent anyone from using them, but one vial survived. In a split-second decision driven by desperation and the overwhelming need to be strong enough, John took the vial and injected himself with it. But the Super Soldier Serum does not just enhance physical abilities. As Dr. Abraham Erskine warned long ago, it amplifies everything within a person. Unlike Steve Rogers, who became Captain America because he was already a good man, John tried to become a good man by being Captain America. The serum amplified not only his strength, but also his anger and desperation. During a moment of rage over the death of his friend Lamar, he chased down one of the Flag Smashers and killed him with Captain America's shield, while crowds filmed everything. Captain America's shield, covered in blood, became a symbol of violence, forcing the US government to strip John of the Captain America title immediately. After the incident, Valentina de Fontaine recruited him for her Black Ops team. He received a black tactical suit, a new dark shield with a star, and a new name: U.S. Agent. Becoming one of her operatives gave John a second chance to serve, even if it meant working in the shadows. The Super Soldier Serum gave John superhuman physical abilities. His fighting style is direct and aggressive. He charges straight at the enemy and overpowers them through superior strength and relentless pressure. In the comics, John Walker's story is very different. He became Captain America when Steve Rogers voluntarily gave up the shield. Comic John got his powers from a villain called the Power Broker, not from taking the serum in desperation. After his secret identity was revealed on television, terrorists murdered his parents. John responded with a brutal rampage. The villain Red Skull secretly manipulated him to ruin the Captain America legacy. Eventually, John realized he was not worthy and gave the shield back to Steve. The government faked his death and gave him treatment, allowing him to become U.S. Agent. Unlike the MCU version who seeks redemption for one violent moment, Comic John's struggle is about accepting that his violent methods mean he can never truly be Captain America. Within the Thunderbolts, John is the frontline warrior who charges into danger first. His role is to absorb damage, draw enemy attention, and neutralize the biggest physical threat so his teammates can execute their parts of the mission. Ava Starr. Ava Starr has the code name Ghost. She has one of the coolest and strangest powers on the team. Her dad, Ava Starr, was a scientist who used to work with Hank Pym until he got fired. He kept doing science experiments on his own, trying to build a tunnel to the quantum realm. When Ava was a little kid, the tunnel exploded with a huge amount of quantum energy. The explosion killed both her mom and dad instantly, but Ava got hit. The quantum energy changed Ava's body at the tiniest level. Sometimes she is solid, and sometimes she is like a ghost. The phasing causes her terrible pain all the time and would eventually kill her without help. After the explosion, Ava was sent to an orphanage where Bill Foster, who used to work with her dad, found her and took her in. A spy organization called SHIELD found out about Ava's powers and wanted to use her as a weapon. They had Bill design a special white suit that let Ava control her phasing. SHIELD trained her to be an assassin and promised to find a cure if she did what they said. When SHIELD fell apart in 2014, Ava and Bill went into hiding. In 2018, Ava learned that Hank Pym was rescuing his wife Janet from the quantum realm. Ava believed stealing Janet's quantum energy would save her life, forcing Ant-Man, the Wasp, and Hank Pym to stop her. Eventually, Janet, after being rescued from the quantum realm, transferred some of her quantum energy to Ava. This healed Ava and stopped the phasing temporarily. Ava's phasing power lets her walk through walls, floors, and anything solid. She can turn into a ghost and attacks go right through her, so she is almost impossible to hit. Her suit gives her perfect control over her powers, so she can choose which parts of her body are ghostly and which parts are solid. On the Thunderbolts, Ghost is the infiltration expert who can sneak into any building and take down enemies that are too well defended for everyone else. Bob. Robert Reynolds, who everyone calls Bob, is the most powerful person on the Thunderbolts team. He is so strong that he could be one of the most powerful beings in the universe. But his incredible power comes with a huge danger. Bob could destroy everything if he loses control. His story starts with a very sad childhood in Florida. His powers come from a secret program run from Valentina called Project Sentry, which aim was to create the ultimate superhero, giving people an experimental serum. This serum was based on the super soldier serum, but way more powerful. Lots of people were tested, but the serum killed all of them. All except Bob. Bob survived, but his survival came with a terrible price. Bob already had mental health problems, childhood trauma, and addiction issues. The serum did not just make Bob super strong, it completely changed him at the molecular level and gave him reality-bending powers. At first, everyone thought Bob died like the others. Valentina ordered his body to be thrown away with the other evidence, but Bob was not dead. He was transforming. When Valentina decided to destroy the facility because the government was investigating her, and Yelena, John Walker, and Ghost was trapped inside, they found Bob alive. Apparently a normal person. After escaping, Bob's powers started showing up. He could fly faster than jets. Regular weapons could not hurt him. But his damaged mind created two different personalities. The first was called Sentry and was the hero part of Bob. He wore a shiny gold suit with a cape and wanted to help people. The second personality was called Void. Void was made from all of Bob's pain, fear, and anger. When Bob turned into Void, he became terrifying. Void did not fight normally. Instead, he spread a field of darkness that sucked in anyone who touched it. People who got caught were pulled into a nightmare dimension where they were forced to watch their worst memories over and over forever. Bob had been tricked into becoming Sentry and told to fight the team. After a confrontation with the Thunderbolt team, while Sentry was still under the influence of Valentina, Void appeared in Manhattan. He sucked civilians into the nightmare dimension. People disappeared into shadows. The Thunderbolts realized they could not beat Void by fighting, and Yelena, who had already experienced the Void presence for a brief moment when they were trapped in the facility, decided to step into it voluntarily to help Bob from within. Yelena and the others got pulled into Void's realm. There, they saw their own traumatic memories. But instead of giving up, they broke free and found Bob trapped in his worst nightmare. This helped Bob fight back against Void. He pushed the dark personality down and became himself again. Everyone who got trapped was released, and the crisis ended. In the new Avengers comics, there are moments when Sentry is reluctant to engage and hesitates to use his abilities for fear of the Void. Bob's presence on the team is both their biggest strength and their biggest worry. If he could safely use his Sentry powers, they would be almost unstoppable. But the risk of Void returning makes using his power incredibly dangerous. Bucky Barnes. James Buchanan Barnes is called Bucky, or the Winter Soldier. He is the most experienced fighter on the Thunderbolts team. Bucky was born in 1917 in Brooklyn, New York. His best friend was a skinny kid named Steve Rogers. When World War II started, Bucky joined the army. He was a good soldier until 1943, when bad guys called Hydra captured him. Hydra did painful experiments on Bucky and gave him an early version of the super soldier serum. Steve Rogers became Captain America and rescued Bucky. After that, Bucky fought with Captain America and a group called the Howling Commandos. They fought against Hydra all across Europe. In 1945, Bucky was on a train trying to catch a Hydra scientist. During the fight, Bucky was knocked off the train and dropped hundreds of feet into the snow. The fall should have killed him, but the serum in his body kept him alive. However, he lost his left arm completely. Hydra found him in the snow and took him to a secret base in Russia. They gave him a metal arm and started controlling his brain. Hydra turned Bucky into the Winter Soldier, a secret assassin who killed important people during the Cold War. Between missions, they froze him in a special chamber so he would not get old. They wiped his memory over and over, using electricity. They also programmed special words into his brain. For decades, the Winter Soldier killed many people. No one knew who he really was. In 2014, Bucky ran into Steve Rogers in Washington, D.C. Seeing his old friend made Bucky start to remember things. He began breaking free from the mind control. Later, someone framed him for a bombing, and everyone was looking for him. After a big fight in Siberia, Tony Stark destroyed his old metal arm. Then Bucky went to Wakanda. The king of Wakanda, T'Challa, helped him. Scientists in Wakanda spent 2 years fixing Bucky's brain and removing the mind control. When Thanos attacked Earth in 2018, T'Challa gave Bucky a new arm. This arm was made from vibranium, the strongest metal in the world. The vibranium arm is almost impossible to break. It can absorb energy from hits, making it perfect for fighting. The arm makes Bucky super strong. He can catch bullets, stop knives, and punch through steel. After years of being a hero and making amends for his past, Bucky tried to live a normal life. He became a U.S. congressman, working in the government to help people in a different way. But Bucky started investigating Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, a powerful CIA director with dangerous secrets. Valentina was running illegal Black Ops missions and using operatives like weapons. When she faced impeachment for her crimes, she sent those operatives to a secret facility on what seemed like a mission. But it was a trap. Valentina wanted them all dead because they were evidence of her illegal work. At the facility, Bucky found the other operatives who had also been betrayed: Yelena Belova, Ghost, John Walker, and Taskmaster. Bucky originally went to the facility to arrest them, but after learning the truth about Valentina's betrayal, he realized he needed their help to stop her. He became the leader of this broken team, using his experience and tactical skills to guide them toward taking down Valentina. Antonia Dreykov. Antonia Dreykov is called Taskmaster. She has an amazing ability that makes her extremely dangerous in fights. Antonia was born as the daughter of General Dreykov, the evil boss of the Red Room. When she was a little girl, her life was destroyed in a terrible accident. In the late 1990s, Natasha Romanoff was sent to kill General Dreykov. Natasha planted a bomb in his car to blow him up. When the bomb went off, Dreykov survived with just some cuts and bruises. But his daughter Antonia was near the car when it exploded. She got badly burned and hurt. Everyone thought she died, but Dreykov did not let her die. He did something awful. He had a computer chip put into her brain. The chip gave her a power called photographic reflexes. This means she can watch someone do a move one time and her body instantly knows how to copy it perfectly. Her brain became like a computer that downloads fighting skills. But the chip did something horrible. It turned off her emotions, personality, and free will. She could not think for herself anymore. She became a robot controlled by her father. She forgot who she was and only existed to fight. Dreykov called her Taskmaster and used her to train Black Widows in the Red Room. Taskmaster has a full body armor suit that protects her while letting her move easily. She carries a copy of Captain America's shield made from strong metal. She uses it just like Captain America does, throwing it and blocking with it. She also has collapsible sticks, claws like Black Panther, a bow and arrows, knives, and a sword. Her helmet has computer screens inside that help her aim better. She can switch weapons in the middle of a fight and use them all perfectly. In 2016, Taskmaster was sent to hunt down Natasha and the other Black Widows who were trying to destroy the Red Room. She almost killed them many times, but during the battle on the Red Room's flying base, Yelena used a special gas that broke the mind control. When Taskmaster breathed it in, she woke up for the first time since she was a kid. After the Red Room was destroyed and Dreykov was killed, Antonia was free. After being freed, Valentina found her and recruited her, just like she did with Yelena, Walker, and the others, into her secret Black Ops team. But during the violent fight that broke out in the secret facility, Ghost killed Taskmaster. In the comics, Taskmaster's story is vastly different from the MCU. The original Taskmaster is a man named Anthony Tony Masters, not Dreykov's daughter. Tony was born with photographic reflexes that let him copy any move he saw. The comic version of Taskmaster is known for his dark sense of humor and for switching sides between heroes and villains depending on the job. Unlike Antonia, who had no choice and was controlled by a chip, Tony Masters chose his path and worked for whoever paid him the most. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine is the boss of the Thunderbolts team. She works in the shadows, using manipulation, blackmail, and strategy to get power. Her background is mostly secret. She has connections to lots of spy agencies and used to work for the CIA, but no one knows if she is loyal to America or just herself. Valentina first showed up in public in 2024 when she found John Walker after he got kicked out of the military. She gave him a new purpose as U.S. agent. She also recruited Yelena by lying about Natasha's death to make Yelena feel like she needed revenge. Over time, Val put together a team of enhanced people and skilled fighters. Her goal was to control her own private superhero team. She manipulates people by finding their weaknesses and offering them what they want most. She acts nice and helpful, but is really using people as tools. Val's ultimate plan was to create her own superhero force that she controlled completely. Project Sentry was her attempt to build the ultimate hero who could replace the Avengers. She wanted someone powerful but dependent on her. When Bob survived the experiments but turned out unstable, Val first tried to get rid of him. But when his power was revealed, she changed plans and used him instead. She manipulated Bob into thinking she was helping him and gave him the Sentry name. When Void appeared and almost destroyed Manhattan, Val's plans fell apart. But Val is smart. She used the resolution of the crisis to make herself look good. She held a press conference and announced the formation of the new Avengers. She made the Thunderbolts look like heroes and took credit for saving the day. This gave her public approval and covered up her illegal activities. She turned her assassins into celebrated heroes and secured her own power.